Hey guys, I'm Stephanie and welcome back to Little Mitch Stitches. Today we are going to get ready for Tour de Fleece. Last week I cleaned my beautiful wheel here. I haven't used her like I thought I might. But she is all nice and clean. The oil has all been absorbed. Still feels a little dry. I might actually, after Tour de Fleece, give her another quickie wipe down and maybe another oiling, because I feel like she can still use a little bit more. But anyway, today I want to talk to you about what I'm going to spin for Tour de Fleece. I have no idea. My goal most years is just to spin for about 20 minutes a day, longer on the challenge days, take a break on the rest days. So this year, I think I'm going to do probably the same, just try to spin a little bit every day. And work through some of my stash. So what I am probably going to start with, definitely going to start with, is what was on my wheel from 2 years ago. I had been spinning this beautiful purple heathered, I don't remember what it was. It might have been a wool from Knit Picks. So nothing all that unique, something I could probably get more of if they still carry it, because I bought it a long time ago. I had 2 bumps of fiber, and that's what I had been spinning on my wheel at the last Tour de Fleece that I participated in, and I was being very good. I was measuring out 25 gram, I think, sections and spinning it, putting some waste fiber in between, spinning another 25 grams. That way I could separate, when I took all of that off the bobbins, separate it into like holder bobbins, and then I could ply randomly from that so that it would be a little mixed up, not all of bobbin A plied against all of bobbin B, because your spinning can change as you're going, and I'm not a technical spinner, so my spinning definitely changes as I go. The problem with that is when I went to go wash my wheel last weekend, I discovered that bugs had definitely gotten to my fiber. This fiber in particular had been sitting in a bag that I used for my spinning supplies, and in the little basket that I had hanging here, on the bobbins themselves, and 2 years of just sitting not being touched, buggies got to it. Jax definitely had been playing with the fiber. My cats had definitely gotten into the fiber, so that bump of fiber had been dragged all over the apartment and basically was shoved in a dark corner for quite a while. It was behind a couch, it was under my work table most recently, so it just really was left untouched and not in a good spot and not stored properly, and that's my bad. So I threw the fiber out, and on the bobbin that was on my wheel, because I had one bobbin finished in my bag and I think that one was fine, the bobbin on my wheel definitely had cuts in it. A lot of them. Some of that could have been from the cats. The cats did chew on this part of my wheel a little bit, but I'm sure it was probably from bugs. So what I did was I just unrolled from the bobbin everything I could until it stopped having breakage points. And it was like tons and tons of ends where it was literally cut through, chewed through, cut through with cat nails, I don't know. So I'm going to see if that is salvageable at all. Move that onto holder bobbins if I can. I don't know if I'll have time to before Tour de Fleece starts. But my goal is to move that onto some holder bobbins, inspect everything, see if it's still usable. Because what's in the under layers wasn't touched, so it should still be good. See how much I am left with, and then just do a 2-ply and call it a day. So I just want to get that off of those bobbins so that I am ready to go for other stuff. The other thing I want to apply is this fiber. I bought this fiber at, I want to say, the second Vogue Knitting Live in New York City. So it is old. I don't remember who dyed it. I don't remember the colorway. It's all probably in my Ravelry library somewhere. I'll have to look it up. But what I had done with this was before I had a wheel. I separated it into 6 even sections, I think. I did my best weighing it. And I was going to, I I think 3-ply it. I honestly don't remember because it's been so long. I spun this on my drop spindle. It was before I had my wheel, and my goal is to ply this on my wheel. And I should explain what I have here. I have a US size 13 knitting needle, which is 9 millimeters. And what I used to do was this is the same size in diameter as my drop spindle shaft. So what I used to do when I would use my drop spindle more often, I would spin on the drop spindle, and then I don't have my drop spindle with me, of course, but I would hold it on top of this. So the shaft is here, my whirl would be here, and the hook above that. I would just slide the fiber off of my drop spindle and onto these knitting needles. I bought a whole bunch of cheap knitting needles in this size just for that purpose. So I use these as my storage from my drop spindle as I want to make a 2 or 3-ply. Oh wow, I found the tag. Go figure, it's with one of my little knitting needle bobbins. Let's see what this fiber is. It is from Creatively Dyed Yarns, and the colorway is Hollywood, and it is 20% cashmere, 20% silk, 60% merino. Yeah, it's time for it to get plied. So I would like to ply this and get this off of these needles for what, 10 years now almost, something like that. It deserves to be done. So that's one thing. One thing I have to keep in mind though is that when I spin on my drop spindle, I tend to spin counterclockwise. And when I spin on my wheel, I spin clockwise. I don't know if that's S twist or Z twist. I can never keep that straight. I have to look at a reference sheet, but I don't have one on me right now. So when I spin on my drop spindle, I spin counterclockwise and I ply clockwise. Yes. So my goal was to, once I got my wheel, have this all spun up counterclockwise, and then I will ply it clockwise, which is the way I normally spin on my wheel. Yes. So I have to keep track what fiber was spun on my drop spindle and what fiber was spun on my wheel if I ever am going to say, oh, I don't want to spin this on my drop spindle anymore. I want to go on my wheel. I have to remember to spin it the opposite direction I'm used to doing on my wheel. I don't know why I spin that way. Most people do spin clockwise and then ply counterclockwise. And there's a lot of talk, especially right now, I feel like in the fiber community in general, about S twist and Z twist. Apparently, I think most yarns are S twist, which is the direction they're applied. But crochet works better because of the way you wrap with Z twist. And some independent yarn companies are coming out with some Z twist. Lion Brand has a Z twist yarn, and I can't remember who. I think Crochet Luna was the one who has a Z twist yarn. I don't remember for sure though. I would have to double check that, and I will link that all down below anyway. Okay, back onto the fiber. Other fiber I have that I'm probably not going to spin right now is, I have all this white. I don't know what it is. I think my notes say that this fiber is from Rachel, who is the owner of Woolyn, and I have known Rachel for a very long time. And I think she gave me this before she owned Woolyn. But this is just an Australian merino, if it's from her. I think so. It's nice and fluffy. But I don't think I'm going to spin this because spinning white is a little boring. And I think what I might do is save this for a dyeing project. Maybe I'll do some ice dyeing with Jax in the backyard this summer, or save it for some other time that I feel okay dyeing, because dyeing fiber is a little more tricky than dyeing just yarn. The next thing I have in my basket here is from Long Island Yarn Farm, and this is old, and you can tell because it has her old business name on it. It used to be Long Island Livestock, and then she rebranded as Long Island Yarn and Farm as she became more about yarn and other products rather than just raising livestock. So I think I've said this before, but whenever I saw Tabitha at an event, I would buy a bumper for fiber. This one thankfully has a tag on it, and it is 68% llama alpaca blend and 32% wool, 4 ounces. I'm not in a rush to spin this. I may spin it, I may not. We'll see. I have some other things that I'll probably spin before I get to this one. The next thing I have in my basket is these 2 Ziploc bags that are labeled $8. I know I bought them together and I know they're the same thing, but I have no idea what they are. Probably wool. I probably bought them at a spinning guild event. But that's all I know. Feels like wool because there's a cut in the bag. Feels a little woolly. Not alpaca or llama. Probably just a wool. Again, a nice neutral color. Probably not what I'm going to spin. Next I have my one and only bat that I have ever bought. Ooh, is this a tag? I might have lucked out. There's a tag. It is alpaca, bamboo, and Angelina, 1.5 ounces. This beautiful color. Look at that sparkle. I've never spun from a bat, so I might give this a try and see what happens with it. This I know I got at the Spinning Guild years ago. A woman named, I can't remember if it was Roxanne or Roseanne, but she was who taught me to spin at a class, and she used to make these beautiful bats. So this is one other option that I might actually think of doing. I'm gonna tuck this tag back in so I don't lose it. What I'm probably starting my spinning with after the plying is this braid from Which Crafty Lady. It is 102 grams of Superwash Polwarth. I feel like this will give me some color interest to keep me interested in the spinning and wanting to keep going. I've never used fiber from this dyer before, and I won this fiber in a giveaway from the Knitting Expat podcast from Mina Phillip. So I had actually thought, oh my gosh, this is like the same purple as what I was spinning on my wheel that the bugs got to. So my thought was either I can ply it against that. Ooh, maybe I will ply it against it. Maybe I won't ply that purple yet. I might spin this out and see what I get yardage wise. Might ply it against what I had on my wheel before. I'll have to see if that's in any good shape first. So the only other thing that I could potentially spin, but I'm definitely not going to spin because it is not prepped yet, is a fleece. I have had a fleece for years from my friend Anne. I don't know if she gave this to me when she was moving or whatnot, but she just wasn't spinning as much, and she said, here, I even cleaned it already. You just need to prep it and spin it. I have a little bit of it right here, but most of it is up on the top of my yarn hutch. Don't know what it is. Some kind of wool. But as you can see, it is not prepped in any way other than being cleaned. It needs to be carded, which I do have hand carders somewhere. I'm sitting on them. Oh, here they are. I have hand carders. They are basically giant versions of cat hair brushes. So if you need a cheap way to do it, you can go to the dollar store and get some cat hair brushes. I've never been very good at using these. While I worked at Woolyn, Rachel, who owns the store, actually showed me how to make faux lags instead of row lags because I was terrible with those. So I don't know what I would do with this one. I think this one would need a lot more prep work. I'm not there right now. Tour de Fleece is like right now. So I don't have time to prep this. But I would love to card this out one day and get it spun. A whole fleece, that's so much fiber. That would be so much yarn. It would be so great. But I think that's going to be held off for another time. So today I am filming in a new place that you guys haven't seen. I am sitting in front of my yarn hutch. It is currently in the kids' room, which is in the process of being emptied out and repaired. It needs a little bit of spackle work, and we're going to paint it, and we're going to get this room all ready for the kids and move my crafty and storage stuff out. So we are going to be transitioning Benji into this room with Jax slowly throughout the summer and probably move him in here permanently at the end of the summer. But this is my yarn hutch and I love this thing. I bought this a couple of years ago, actually a decent number of years ago, because I'm pretty sure it was before I had Benji, before I had Jax. So this is an antique. I bought it from a man who lived in a very old house, and he inherited it with the house when he purchased it. And I have no idea how old it is, but it is definitely old. It's not made like more modern furniture in any sort of way. And let's see, I have these drawers here. I have this, I thought might be a wine rack, but I don't know if you could fit any wine bottles in there unless wine bottles were smaller. I'm not a wine drinker, so I have no idea. But I just kind of have thrown stuff in there. I want to somehow make little baskets or drawers to go in those little cubes someday. We've got 3 little sections here that have doors that have to go on. I never put the doors on because the screws are stripped. And I had so much stuff shoved in here. I just emptied it yesterday. I have to finish emptying this so we can move it out of here today. But so I am so looking forward to Tour de Fleece this year. I really need to get my spinning mojo back. Are you guys spinning at all for Tour de Fleece? Are you challenging yourself? Are you doing a project? Please let me know, because I am only going to get so much done. But I love seeing the projects that other people are doing. I'm in a couple of Tour de Fleece groups on Facebook and just seeing what people are posting. Someone had like 30 fleeces that they're working through. Obviously not all in Tour de Fleece, but some people are prepping rollags ahead of time for their spinning. I'm doing like no preparation, so just barely even looking through my fiber stash. But some people have some great lofty goals, spinning sweater quantities, spinning a whole fleece. It's so cool to see what other people are doing. I love hearing about other people's projects, especially since most of what I'm doing these days is vicariously through other people's lives, because I barely get anything done anymore, especially this week with all of the construction stuff that we're doing. So there's not been a lot of time for any knitting, crocheting, and definitely not spinning. I even found all of my cross stitch stuff. I gotta work on that. It's all over here. I kind of left that all separate. I'm gonna bag it all up separately so it's not a little here, a little there. But even that, still didn't finish that cross stitch sampler, by the way. I gotta get on that. All right. Well, let me know what you guys are going to be spinning for Tour de Fleece, who is challenging themselves, who is just trying to get their spinning mojo back like me. I can't wait to hear all about it, you guys. And I can't wait to share with you. I'm thinking I might try to do a daily vlog. I don't know when I think I'm going to be able to edit all of that, but I might try to do it. I might try to just film me spinning each day and my progress, just short videos, and post every day. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Lofty goals. Not enough time in the day to do any of it. Alright, you guys, that's it for this week. I hope you all have a great time doing Tour de Fleece, and I will see you on the other side of the spinning wheel. Bye-bye. What a mess. The best part. My spinning basket goes up here. More. This is the section for all of my hand spun. Oh, we got more fiber up here. I missed that one. I bought my spinning basket several years ago at the Long Island Fleece and Fiber, now the Halleckville Fiber Festival, by the basket makers there. And part of why I bought it was it had a ladybug on it for my ladybug. And also, for anyone who doesn't know, I have a ladybug on my arm. So I thought it was the perfect match to hold all of my spinning supplies. I was just trying to clean up my spinning supplies after filming, and I found this bag. I'm sorry for the crinkles, but this is Angora Bunny. Oh, the lighting is terrible. Oh, it's so soft. I forgot that I had this. I mean, I knew I had it, but I just didn't cross my mind. No, it didn't cross my mind as I was filming. Oh, look at that fluff. So this is definitely not something I'm spinning this year because this needs probably some research before I spin it. I'll probably blend it with something, and I don't even remember how much of it I have. But this fiber is from Bayhaven Short Tails, which is a local farm of, I think, Finn sheep and Angora bunnies. Lisa, who is the owner, used to be the president of the Spinning Guild back when I was a member. Oh, it's so soft. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm going to spin it by itself or blend it, but I had to buy it when I saw some. I definitely suggest getting some. I don't know, maybe I will blend it with something. That would be really fun. That would be a fun experiment for another year though. But I had to share it.